Yes, this is Jan reporting from the Superbooth in Berlin, and I'm here at the IK Multimedia stand with the surprise of this fair, the new synthesizer, which we have here. And I'm talking with Eric, which is the developer. Hi Eric, I'll just give you the microphone.
Hello Gearslutz. I'm Eric Norlander. I'm one of the designers of the UNO Synth. This is a real analog synth from IK Multimedia. Let me give you a brief tour of it. So we start with two analog oscillators with continuously variable wave shape. So we can go from the triangle wave to the sawtooth wave, from the sawtooth wave to the square wave, and then of course pulse width modulation. The two oscillators are completely independent, so we can have a fixed triangle wave on one, we can be doing pulse width modulation on the other, we can transpose oscillator 2 up an octave, oscillator 1 down an octave, of course we can do detuning between them, all the stuff you expect. There's also a separate white noise generator. Then we go into our analog filter. This is a two-pole resonant state variable, a two-pole resonant multi-mode filter with, of course, low pass, high pass, band pass, with variable resonance that goes from rather conservative to pretty extreme. Then we have a custom overdrive circuit that has a very specific curve that adds a lot of character to the instrument. So if you're in the low pass mode with a reasonable resonance setting and the drive all the way off or just at low saturation, you get classic 70s warm analog synth sounds. But if you bring up the overdrive and then you put obviously the filter into something like bandpass mode and you bring up the resonance, then we have a much more aggressive modern sound. We're into EDM territory, something that you'd expect more out of a Eurorack system than a little portable synth like this. There are two envelopes, filter and amplitude. They're both four-stage envelopes, ADSR, but there's only two stages on the front panel. We gave you the two that you use the most. So for the filter, it's attack and decay. For the amplitude, it's attack and release. If you want to control all four stages of each envelope, you can do that with MIDI CC or with the computer editor that comes with it. There is an LFO with 7 wave shapes, sine, triangle, saw down, saw up, square, random, and sample and hold. Adjustable rate. This is free running, and then you can also give it a note value to sync to the tempo, either of the internal clock or to external clock. Then there are 5 performance buttons at the bottom. Vibrato is pitch modulation, wah is filter modulation, tremolo is amplitude modulation, and these all run at the rate of the LFO. So you can set the rate of your modulation here and then just bring it in and out with the button. So this can be done while the sequence is playing, while the arpeggiator is playing, or while you're playing in real time. There's also 2 pitch articulations, dive and scoop. Dive takes the pitch and dives down to the note. Scoop starts below and scoops up to the note. So again, these are real-time pitch articulations to let you easily play like, yeah, you're a synth pro with years of experience using the pitch and mod wheels and all that stuff. Okay, there's 100 presets. Each preset has a sequence attached. The sequence is a 16-step sequence that you can record either step by step, like something like a vintage TB303, or in real time. There's a metronome you can turn on, you hold record, you press play, and then you can record your notes in real time. But there's more to it than just notes. We've actually come up with a system where we can record 20 different synth parameters for each step of the sequence. That means we can adjust the cutoff, we can adjust the filter decay, we can adjust the amount of pitch LFO, or the amount of LFO to the pitch for every single step, and we can actually completely transform the sound from one step to the next, times 16. And because this is an all analog audio path, this is a real analog synthesizer, it's the same thing as just turning knobs on a modular Moog synth or any kind of an analog system. So there's no pops, there's no clicks, there's no stair stepping or zippering or anything like that. we're just adjusting voltages in real time. So it's ultra musical, ultra smooth, like you expect from an analog synth. There's also an arpeggiator. The arpeggiator has 10 different modes, like up, down, repeating the top and bottom note, down, up, repeating the top and bottom note, random. So if I play 3 notes, it'll just play those notes at random. As played, which if I play the 3rd, then the root, then the 5th, it will play them in that order. And then 2 modes where we actually play 2 notes for each step of the arpeggiator. That's doing that going up and doing that going down. So that's the, there's also a delay effect, glide, all of that. It's using capacity sensing technology. So these are not membrane switches. There are no switches underneath. It's just capacitance sensing. So you don't actually press a button, you just have to touch the panel to activate each thing. So it's like the sensitivity on a smartphone. So this helps keep the costs down, this helps keeps the weight down, and it will also keep it a lot more reliable than, you know, like the traditional membrane switch thing that we've seen on a lot of vintage synths. It runs on batteries. It will run for about 10 hours on 4 AA batteries. It can also be powered by USB, and of course you can get MIDI over USB. There's also a dedicated MIDI in and out port. Out can also do soft through. There's an audio in for daisy chaining, additional units, drum machines, whatever you like. So, you might ask, why in the world did IK Multimedia, a software company, make an analog synth? Well, IK's been doing very well with mobile hardware products. It started with the iRig, the guitar interface that you can connect to your iPhone. Of course, there's the iRig Pro Duo, which is mic preamps and MIDI interface. There's mobile keyboards. There's the iLoud mobile speakers. So the company's been very active in the mobile space. Well, last year, we came out with a virtual instrument called Syntronic, which is a collection of 22 virtual synthesizers based on 44 hardware synthesizers, all of which live at my studio back in California. And this product was tremendously successful for the company, and we thought, okay, wouldn't it be cool to take the idea of all this mobile hardware and make an actual mobile synth? And so that was the reason to make the UNO Synth. So we took everything we knew about synth technology, even going back to my work on the Alesis Andromeda and before that. We partnered with an Italian company called Sound Machines, who did the actual electrical circuit for it. And then we worked internally to come up with just a great user interface and you know, some great Italian styling, of course, on the synth. And with all of that, within probably 1 year from starting to it making sounds now here in Berlin, we have an UNO Synth.